Hello, hello, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Submitted for Your Approval, our weekly collective card review show where we talk about cards from the collective card games, cards got in last week, as well as cards that might get in this week. I'm joined today by my faithful co-host, Grief.
Howdy, folks.
Yeah, and today was the day we were trying to start unveiling our new format of having a four-person panel. Our third panelist would have been Empty Folder, but he was so taking his place. We have TomSoniQ, who was the second place in the last Battle for Wanderstar, not this recent one, but the one before that. Say hi, Tom.
Hello, people.
Cool. And joining us also today, we have another special guest who is FrozenEarth. FrozenEarth is the one who taught me how to block cards. And a lot of the newer players, and probably some of the older players, he's been around like forever. So say hi, Frozen.
Hello.
Yeah. Before we get started, Tom, have you actually seen my show?
Yes, I have a few times.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because I know Frozen said you saw my. You actually had to go watch an episode of the show to get ready for this, right, Frozen?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's nice.
Okay. As long as Frozen knows what they're getting into. A couple quick announcements. We do have a special episode coming on next week, sometime this weekend, probably Saturday or Sunday, in addition to our regular episode, where we will be reviewing Nick, one of the game, for Odious, and he will be answering your guys' questions. We actually want to get questions from you guys. So check out the link in the description. I have a little Google form so you can submit your questions, ask about anything collective related, the new season, Marie, some of the recent balance changes, anything as long as it pertains to the game, just feel free to submit your questions. The winner of the Battle for Wanderstar yesterday was Sidewalk, so congrats. Second place is going to be was Wuchek Marion, who will be joining us next week as a guest. And also, the unit art design contest is over. We had Jtad was the winner. The art piece was beautiful, and we'll also be linking to that art in the description. So without any further ado, let's get to the first card from the accepted submissions. Now we have 4 of these in the new format, so 1 for each panelist. Garlic Thief is a 2-drop spirit 2/2 dragon from Talera with fast and feed +1/+1. I picked this one. I thought it was really, really neat. It's a simple common, yeah, whatever. But it can give just a little bit of extra support and a free body for it. So this is actually kind of a lean, pretty efficient little guy if you're running the right support for him. This helps food decks, obviously, because you can snatch the garlic bread out of the mouth of the little dude and buffer dudes. And it also has this really, really cute art from Space Turtle, and I really like that. Tom, we'll let you go first. What do you think of this card?
Yeah, well, this card is looks pretty common-esque to me. Very few words. Fast and feed, kind of a neat synergy because you can basically play whatever unit you want after it, and it will get +1/+1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously great with the stuff from Hope's Hollow, the Hungry Beggars and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe you will see this in Bullock in the future or something.
Yeah.
Because those usually play a lot of small units.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Grief?
Basically, nothing much to add there. A decent stat line as a 2-cost 2/2, and would actually provide a decent addition to a semi-food dragon-based archetype because we also got some more. We also got a food dragon in this week, and yeah.
Yeah,
it can decently benefit from buffs itself, but as long as you can keep the costs pretty low, you can basically train any kind of unit.
Yeah. Yeah, anything to add, Frozen?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all you guys said. It's basically Hearty Breakfast onto a 2/2. And it's nice to see a Marsh Dragon that's not drawn by Jtad.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not by Jtad, actually, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, Space Turtle kind of knocked it out of the park with the art. This is really neat. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So the Legion, we have actually talked about this card before, but it finally got in some iteration, which is very interesting. Okay, what iteration did we get? Legion is a 10-drop strength 2/2 demon amalgam from nowhere in particular. With summon, fill your board with copies of this unit, and each copy duels a random unit. So a little beefier. We talked about how the original one was a little bit too weak. Still, chances are most, if not all of them, are probably going to die.
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's. So this is interesting. Why do you think it succeeded this time, Grief?
Maybe because of its quite deceptive position as a board wipe in red. Since it's extremely unit based, and it actually started a controversy just a few hours ago, like 10 hours ago. How this could actually swarm your board and stuff like that. So it could actually mean that people see more potential on it now than before. I've actually tested this card, even on Permo, so where the most contentious version of it. But yeah, if you're getting it off, you only have like 1 or 2 of those legions left if you're popping it for 6 to 7 copies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
The
people
price
are
you
seeing
pay for a
stuff.
board wipe in red.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best that Red's currently got access to unless we get something like End Times out.
Yeah, I remember saying a couple of days ago that I hope it gets in and it gets buffed.
Yeah, that would be nice. But we know how this community tends to feel about buff slots. So
Tom,
Oh.
Tom, would you play this over Earthquake in promo?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say,
Why not?
because like basically it deals like around 20 damage spread across enemy units, and like if you want to a board clear in red, like you can just play Earthquake for 9 mana and you're kind of fine. I think like if you want to do some jank combo with Crimson Dancer or something, then you can play this, but it's probably too weak to play anywhere else.
yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard to get 20 out of this. Let's be clear. To get 20 out of this, you have to have an empty board. Which at that point, what are you doing anyway at turn 10?
Losing.
Yeah, yeah. And my personally is that the duel happens immediately after. So how would you get good value out of this? You would get it with like maybe buffing it before it can duel, but you can't. Nothing outspeeds that feed effect. And so it's just missing that versatility and that synergy that I'm always looking for in a card. So we'll see. Maybe people can find a clever way to put this to use that I'm not thinking of.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, or hopefully it gets buffed or something. Okay, now this one's fun.
Oh.
I mean, we had to do it, right?
Jeez.
We have to do it. I agree with Tom. Tom, I know he's doing a self-plug here, but this was right. This goes on the list.
I'm getting a headache already.
Project
Fusion Project.
is a 1-drop neutral type action from Tutela with draw a card. Now buckle up, folks. At the start of the game, this was a winner from the DC. If your deck consists of only this card and 44 unique units, randomly combine them in pairs into mutants with their combined cost, stats, tribes, and abilities. So you are opted to play now with a 23-card deck. One of them is just an action that draws. And all of your cards are random combinations of units you have. This is weird. This is jank. I think it's really hard to make it work. But I'm actually going to let Tom talk about his thought process going into the card, and then I'll let Steve slam it, and then I'll let
I'd love to hear
close it
it.
out. So Tom, go.
Yeah, well, so I was brainstorming for ideas for cards for the start of game DC, and you know, I've always been a fan of the mutant concept. I also did the experimental fusion, and then I thought, maybe this would be a fun idea, and yeah, I mean, it is kind of a monstrosity of a card. It has spawned countless bugs already, but I think you might be able to have some fun with the mutants, combine some keywords and summon effects and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I like this card. I like this archetype. I think this one in particular is just very hard to play well. It's this specific number actually kind of does it in. Like if it was, I think honestly the condition can afford to be a little bit weaker because right now there's so many hard counters to this dead and gone, consign just
consign.
deck and blows it up.
Right.
Now grief, you go.
I mean, I could rather draw consign or dead and gone against it, or just mill you because we only have less than 20 cards on deck. Because does this effect already account during mulligan?
You have a chance of, you're
Starting
opening hands
happens
gone.
before mulligan.
So the mutants, you already get mutants in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
So you have like 18 cards in your deck by the game start. So you're basically screwed if you're playing against mill.
Well, ha. Master of Portals.
Yeah, you could. I guess theoretically,
Yeah.
if you draw into your one mutant that has Master of Portal.
Yeah. I mean,
there are
you
other
can do a
cards
lot
too.
of
There's like
strange stuff with this.
This card is extreme. Is on the extreme end of the jank scale, and I'm loving it for it. But holy hell, it's such a playable jank. You will have fun for one YouTube video or one Twitch stream you're basically doing because your Patreon paid you for it. But afterwards, you're hating every life decision that you made.
I don't know. It's just jank.
It's jank, and I'm loving it for it, and I'm already concerned for the people who are actually picking this just to counteract the next tournament where people are bringing mirror match.
Oh my god, it's gotta be Henry all over again.
God, that's painful. I don't even want to think about that. Okay. I do think maybe if people really want to see this card succeed, which I think quite a few people do, maybe we could lax up this condition a little bit and let you run more than a 23 card deck.
I mean, yeah, you can bump it up to 90, bring yourself a 45 card deck.
Yeah, or just make that 44 and then 88, and then that would be 45 plus or 44 plus the copy of Fusion Project, which just draws you a card. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
You got any other thoughts?
It's shenanigans.
It's shenanigans.
It
I
sure
don't know.
is.
Is that actually supposed to be Sabrina mutated into something?
I can tell you, because I was wondering at first too, but if you look at the art of experimental fusion, it's actually the fusion of Sabrina and another card that's standing there. So yeah,
Okay.
that's some cool flavor from Bong Choi there.
So that is, okay, Sabrina is something else now. That's cool. Because I like Sabrina. And obviously we're big fans of the mutant archetype because between me and Tom, he created almost all the mutant cards. Okay, the Staring Contest from Karachar. This was FrozenEarth's accepted pick. Is a drop action with choose one unit you control and one you don't. So long as they're both in play, neither can attack or block. So we already talked about this before, so let's kind of move this one along. Frozen, why did you pick it? What do you think about it?
I mean, I just chose it because I didn't really pay attention to the last episode, but I don't know. I just thought it was, well, it has great flavor, acceptable flavor, but I don't know. I'd rather play passive aggressive over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does limit both attacking and blocking, and that's worth noting.
Yeah.
Grief, do you see any decks where this would work?
Not really, because it's extremely easy to get out of that block, since you just need to bounce their opponent's unit or remove it in any shape or form to get yours out. Maybe there are some, you couldn't even do some silly shenanigans with silencing your units or stuff like that, because it's not an effect on the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least it does reference the Smiling Sun and Mr. I from other cards too.
Actually, the Smiling Sun was created after this because of this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was, so Gentle Cat talked about it, and Gentle Cat said it needed to be a card, and Trez built a card for it, and then I reached out to Kalehound and said, Kalehound, do the art for this card.
Wow.
So that was a really cool story. And hopefully the Smiling Sun still gets in. It's still out. I think Astros is still actively trying to submit it, and I encourage him in that, definitely. Tom, you have any thoughts on that before we move on?
No, not really. Play
Yeah.
passive aggressive instead most of the time. So
Yeah, we'll see if people can find a purpose for it. So we have the Dragons DC, which was interesting. Dragons have always been in a really weird spot. They're a flavor tribe that's trying hard not to be a flavor tribe, and it's almost working, maybe? We'll see depending on how this DC does. I wanted to talk about the Drakkountant. The Drakkountant is a 2-drop strength 0/4 dragon from Tutela. Before combat, if you have 2 or more unused mana, reduce the cost of the top card of your deck by 2. And I see this and I get a headache because the last thing that Pearlmaw needs is more mana ramp. And you're giving more mana ramp to Pearlmaw. Why? Why?
It's a nice card.
It's the strength. It was actually the case. Bonk Choi wanted to do this in another Affinity. And I think this is ridiculous. Tom, say something to calm me down.
I think you're asking the wrong person here.
Okay, Graves, say something. Tom,
Tom, please.
no. Tom.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like this card as a Pearlmaw main player because like it synergizes very well because you usually as a Pearlmaw you always have at least 1 unused mana, so you get the doubloon, and now you can kind of double up on that and get basically 1 free mana.
Triple.
Also, I mean, it does have the dragon synergy because dragons like to be on top of your deck, and you like to like scour them into that position. So there's your dragon synergy, but yeah, Pearlmaw card mostly, I guess.
Grief.
Frozen, do you have thoughts on it?
I mean, it's a pretty. Oh, I don't know about saving 3 mana per turn because that's. I don't know. I really do not like playing Pearlmaw that just holds all their doubloons and pulls off something wacky later. I just don't like it.
Well, I love it.
Make that 2 of us, Tom, because I love that card as well.
Oh man.
I mean, this just reminds me of the more support for heroes, and the same turn Plasma Dragon one was basically a Permo card.
Yeah.
Obviously a Permo card. And yes, of course, people dislike mana ramp and stuff like that. But let's be honest, most of the people aren't playing multiplayer anyway. They're dirtling around to a single player. And why just don't give more jank to those people? This is such a good card that basically enables any kind of jank, or even maybe the odd competitive deck for Permo. Thing is, though, you are trying to not spend up to 2 mana, but it's far harder for Permo to bank 2 mana than just 1.
Yeah.
At least consistently.
So,
Yep.
I guess my case with this is give someone other than Pearlmaw access to this. Because, like, if this maybe could be... I'd rather see this in neutral. Like, I'm a single player. I don't care about the multiplayer implications of this. I would rather someone else who needs ramp see ramp than more Pearlmaw.
I mean, in neutral, Permo would have a field day with it, because even in neutral, it's mainly Permo that's playing it. But in this case, oh yeah, Eagle's Permo gets another damn tool.
Oh.
Mana box.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know. I like ramp. I just think we need to see it diversified in more affinity. So maybe this is good. I mean, I'm not a multiplayer player, so what do I care? I'm throwing up vote.
Amazing.
Okay, so this was Grief's pick for the DC's cards. The Draconjurer, doing a lot of weird bad puns. It's a 3-drop 3 dragon from nowhere in particular. With summon a dragon from your deck on top of your deck. So this is just I'm going to guarantee the next thing you're about to draw is a dragon, synergize with the stuff we talked about. Okay. That's Nick asking about our interview, by the way. So, who wants to start this time? Who should I have start, Grief?
Frozen.
Frozen starts this one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, honestly, I haven't seen this card that much, and I don't really know if it just puts a random dragon on top of your deck or you get to choose. So whichever one it is, it's got to be pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, it's not clear.
It's pretty clear because following the new wording, randomness is actually explicit. That means that if an effect does not imply that it is, or basically explicitly say that it's random, it's definitely a choose effect.
Yeah, so I thought it was gotta be choosing too. But yeah, that might be, could be wacky, but it's 3 mana, 3/4/3.
Yeah.
But it is neutral though.
Yeah. So that's interesting, and there's a lot of different ways to maybe run dragons. Tom, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, of course it has the dragon synergy and everything, but I think this could be a pretty scary card because you can basically choose any dragon from your deck to put on top of your deck. One very nice synergy with this would be Aragorn Splat, which is like if you build your deck around it, then you can tutor it. If
you're running Aragos Highlander, you can have these be your dragon. So whether it was random or choose, you're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has a place in that package, definitely. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What else to say, Tom? Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that's its main place right now. But I mean, also it does kind of limit the amounts of designs for dragons you could do, but should be mostly fine.
Yeah, we'll see. Grief?
I think it's something that should be actually kept in mind, that it allows you to actually also play some more toolboxy dragon type cards, because in this case, any kind of dragon that is more situational based or basically a tech card could be tutored up with it. So if this ever gets into the game, and shout out to Bojack, or basically new dragon guy, who's trying to make dragons good, this could actually come back because it's neutral, so it can be played anywhere. And it could also help in your in fixing fish decks that are more that are relying on dragon prints, on the river prints and stuff like that.
Yeah, the dragonfish.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it has a spot in the dragonfish deck. It has a spot in the regular dragon stack. Maybe if you want to run this in the Aragos Blood Highlander package, or I guess maybe if you wanted to run a bunch of your little the guy we talked about earlier, the little marsh dragon. If you're running in a Hope's Hollow deck, it gives you a couple 4/3s. It bugs me that he doesn't have flying, but I understand because he's neutral, because the picture has wings.
That's just energy.
That's just energy. Sure. I like that. That's a good way to think. I don't know. I think this is neat. I'll upvote this, actually. The Terrible Duo. So this was an art I was supposed to do a design for because Bedarder asked me to, but it needs to be on a card. It's a beautiful art. You guys will see it. The Terrible Duo is a 6-drop strength 5/5 dragon human from nowhere in particular. Whenever a card is banished from your deck, this gains flying and duelist this turn. Into trade Cosmos and Ezer. Ezer is a 3-drop 3/2 neutral. Whenever this card is banished, or when a card is banished in your deck, this gains flying. And Cosmos is a 3-drop 2/3 with when a card is banished in your deck, this gains duelist.
Card is banished from your deck. What is another trigger?
Yeah, so it's got the banish synergy thing going on, and this is interesting. I'll actually let Grief start us off on this one.
I mean, this is good kind of banish synergy because it's not, counting cards or relying cards being banished. Mm-hmm. This can work passively with Scour, work off the cards your opponent is playing, like Consign and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's a good aspect about it, because it tries to already slot into a niche that some red dragons are already pushing towards. The funny thing is, even if you kill it, this is basically a version of a warm coil engine for collective that is banish based. Sure, I cannot really see how much this can affect a metagame, but it's definitely not bad. thing is, how powerful is it really in practice?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a card that's hard to evaluate in a vacuum, I would say. Of course, we do have stuff that can work with this, like Shaw's. I guess if you'd run that, I don't know. Shaw's is pretty cheap, so maybe.
No.
Frozen, or Tom, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, you can go first, Frozen.
All right. Yeah, I guess it's fine because it doesn't really do anything wacky. I mean, how much Scour do we have anyways? Is there a lot? Oh yeah, there's Dragon Totem. So that might be good.
And in the Legacy pool, there's some stuff that lets you scour like once per turn, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just a keyword, so triggering it multiple times per turn won't really do much. Yeah, I guess it's all right.
Yeah. Tom, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool card. So it can get you quite a bit of value, and also I just like the flavor of it because, like, it's called the Terrible Duo, and Flying and Duelist are kind of a terrible duo because if you use Duelist, you can't make any use of Flying anymore.
Yeah. So I think the card's kind of pulling in a couple different directions, and that's maybe an issue. I love this art. I just want to see something happen with this art. Bedarder actually asked me to make a card with this art, and my idea totally flopped. Grief, what are your thoughts? Did you already talk about it?
It's a pretty decent card. Upvoted. Do it now on stream.
No.
Oh my
Think
god.
about it. I'll go back to it.
You're disappointing me.
Okay, so this was Frozen's pick, so I'll let Frozen talk first on this one.
Oh yeah.
Better than the Terrible Duo. What?
Oh my gosh, you almost found it. All right. Yeah, I chose this card because it's pretty nice. I mean, it pushes both Dragon Fish decks. King of Whelp, whatever the card name is also Dragonfish, so it might really synergize with this in Dragonfish decks.
No. Hold on, let me read it real quick. See, Dragon Whelp is 3-drop neutral, 2/3 fish dragon from nowhere in particular with summon, draw a card. If you drew a fish or a dragon, draw a card. Okay, now go. Or was that it?
That was it. Oh, come on.
It is neat. It's a good simple common. Simple commons, yay.
I mean, like,
It could let you meticulous research if you're running in like a fish package, and I think that's neat. Grief, what are your thoughts on this?
Actually, it's a pretty good bridge between fish and dragon decks, especially with our two fish dragons that we have. We have quite a few good draw engines or Whims of Fate, which basically can give you an entire new hand, so you can get multiple triggers out of it. So yeah, also maybe with the combination of stuff like the new Comedian and Golden Ticket and stuff, you can get a semi-mill team into your deck, allowing you to just burn through your entire deck when it comes to drawing more cards more over and over again, to get either into this or to basically enable other cards. So yeah, it's nice. More draw engine for Dragon and Fish.
Yeah. Tom, you have any other thoughts? Or are we gonna?
Yeah, I think it's cool card. You will just put this into your fish and dragon decks. I guess you can also just put it into your Eaglelessness deck because 3 mana, 2/3 draw a card is solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I spy Ginko.
Yeah, this is the main submissions outside stuff. Let's talk about Colorful Confetti. Colorful Confetti is a 0-drop action from Chromosome with give a unit when this deals damage, create a colorful confetti. So the idea here, for those of you who missed it, because some of you probably missed this, and I mean, he made this explicit, is it's for the action spam deck. Now, I was very on board for this until Grief pointed out, very appropriately, action spammy decks don't run a lot of units. So what could you do with this? Maybe. Pod control. If we wanted to bring that back, this is a great thing for pod control because you can hit and then you get an action, so you always have at least one proc for your action stuffs. Of course, that hasn't been very popular. This probably can't bring Ash Gertie back. Grief, why can't this bring Ash Gertie back?
Tom, do you have anything nice to say about this card?
Yes, I do. I think where I could see this card the most would be in Rictic decks that don't run a lot of actions. So this could be a way to proc your passive and get some XP, because everybody's already complaining that Rictic is too specific and everything. And also this could be good in queuing me. So you can put this on your cards and then you get a lot of these bad cards into your hand and you can banish them.
Oh yeah,
So that's something.
great bridge for Kyung Mi. Actually, this guarantees that. I mean, if you're running enough like evasion or whatever in Kyung Mi, I guess you can do stuff with like number station, and put this on a number station, so it's always gonna connect, and then get an additional card off of it. Huh. Okay, there's maybe some stuff to get going. Frozen, what's your thoughts on this? Grief wants to go last.
All right. I mean, I guess like you can put it on stuff like cheap stuff like Torch Tile or I don't know whatever else is out there. But I don't know. Maybe you could put it on some like area damage unit and really gain something from that. But I don't know what.
Slap this on a Caldera and like, I don't know why you do that, but you could.
Who knows?
Stopping you.
If no one's gonna stop you.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Grief, go.
I'm feeling some huge as parental disappointment when I'm seeing this card.
That's a lot.
It's nice. Yeah, you can put it on a unit in KM, a unit in Ash, or whatever in Vitric. Or you could actually play a useful card like a Tune that also costs 0 and does more. And it doesn't take 1 to 3 slots from your deck. Let's be honest. When we look at this card, it does less than a colorful fireworks display without Party Crusher support added to it. This card is too damn slow for an actual action spam deck where you want to chain multiple actions, because yes, okay, you can basically put it on units, but you have to actually stick the damage on them first to get that thing off. Oh yeah, maybe they removed your unit. Okay, you've quote unquote wasted or gained 1 more trigger for your victory passage. Yeah, as I said, you could have also done that if you played an actually useful card. Yeah, this is for me basically a perfect example of, yeah, let's support a kite and completely running this goal into the wall.
Oh,
sorry, but I don't like this card.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see. I think this is a really unique idea. It's not getting a lot of support, so apparently everyone's on board with Grief. Even though I think these synergies are aplenty. Yeah. So, the other card I wanted to talk about today is the Grand Ginko, the second legendary for Enterra. Frozen should be excited. Are you excited, Frozen?
Shoot, did I just drop?
No, you're back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Grand Ginko is a 5-drop spirit 3/7 plant from Enterra. Whenever you gain HP, choose a friendly plant to gain the same amount. And whenever a friendly plant is destroyed, shuffle it back into your deck. So, I'll actually let you talk. I won't even talk like I normally do first. Tell me about this behind this card.
Well, this has been a card long in the making. I mean, first we started out with the your plants can't take damage version, but that was pretty broken, and I don't think we can really expect the community to get around that. And then we moved to this version, which also isn't doing very well in the sub, as you can see.
Yeah.
58% upvoted. But yeah, we're just trying to find a good design that fits the art from Rock Angel.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful piece. The Rock Angel's from a while ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so cool stuff. Your plants don't die. This isn't going to bring Anthroclone into the meta. We could hope, but it won't.
One can hope.
So, yeah. You can do some clever stuff, I guess, with their normal HP gain suite. Heartbeat, this does some fun stuff with. You can gain HP and then gain more HP for your heartbeat monitor and the monitor, not the regular heartbeat. This has a lot of cool synergies, and if you get this out with the other one, Grovenel, if we're in Magical Christmas Land, you are a force to be reckoned with because you can just gain an insane amount of HP, and your units will become totally tank against any kind of damage that would come their way. I've always wanted planes to be a thing, and I think this could be a neat tool for them, but we'll see. Tom, you got anything?
Yeah, no, I think this is a cool plant card. Maybe it could make plants a thing again.
Yeah, it would be nice. Grief, what do you think?
Maybe a stall tool that makes Rafa even more viable, or even viable at all. Because you could now grow your entire board, or your partially entire board for plants until you drop your Rafa, and now all your plants have their HP values also added towards set their attack values to the HP values, and therefore having a board bigger than usually plants with morphine supreme. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see where it is. Maybe this might need a resub or two, but I think some version of this will get in because I want to see plants have a really successful game plan. So let's get into Grief's picks. The Stone Cruiser is an 8-drop strength 8/8 vehicle from Tolera with Overrun, Frenzy 4, and Pace 3. Deal 8, split among enemies. Then this attacks. This is a board unstaller, if you can get it out. I know there's been some concerns about the diversity of finishers, particularly regarding strength. This is just I want everything to die. Is this going to be successful? I'll let Grief talk about why he picked this one because I'm kind of curious.
This card is basically a collective version of the Dread card or ship card from Legends of Runeterra that basically deals damage and is a huge battleship. So that's because of an aesthetic that I basically was reminded of it. But yeah, this can just plow through any kinds of boards or hit face because it's saying enemies and your opponent's face counts as an enemy character. So yeah, if the board is empty, this can actually deal 8 damage to face while attacking for 8. It has frenzies and overrun pretty decent combination because now everything that basically survives and is put in front of it will be dealt full damage before it basically runs over the rest of the damage straight to face. So this thing is unstoppable as long as you can protect it. If you feel the 3 damage every turn into it, you're basically getting rewarded for quote-unquote free.
Yeah, we're talking about Legion. This is a way to do a board wipe in strength.
Yeah, I would play this over
basically. I would rather run this than a Legion. Because if I get one,
I really hope Legion.
Frozen, what did you have to say?
Oh, I really hope Legion gets something good.
Yeah, some sort of buff.
It really deserves it. God. Stone Cruiser, I mean, Frenzy 4 Overrun, nothing will block it. Nothing survives. All is dead. But, I mean, 8 mana is pretty expensive anyways. So, well, ignoring ramp, it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, we do got to talk about the Perlma issue. So, Perlma's 8-drop currently is Dan. Dan kills a lot of the things, but still takes a turn to set up. This takes a turn to set up and kills a lot of the things, maybe all of the things. Because Dan, you're relying on the size of your opponent's stuff. If your opponent has some bigger stuff, they can't really deal with this. Stone Cruiser, not so much. So yeah. Tom, you have anything else to say?
Yeah, well, I think this is a good card if you want to go aggressive with Perlma, but after all, just one removal or bounce or anything can get this away from you already. Which doesn't have to be too bad of a thing. I mean, Lizardthap Soul Claimer's also 8-drop that does nothing on impact, and that has seen a lot of play.
Yeah.
But I think in most situations, if you play Dan Smith, you can like clear your opponent's board, and it's very hard to deal with, and this is more easy to deal with. So yeah.
Yeah, that is actually a strength and a weakness of this Star Force squad is they're spread out over multiple cards. This only takes one removal to deal with. So you're saying you would rather run Dan than this?
Yeah, very likely.
Okay.
It's like you could like put ward on it through ward call or something early on and then drop it later. I mean, I would play it.
Yeah.
This is basically your top end for an aggro deck or more aggressive mid-range deck.
Yeah.
Maybe for Heldim. Heldim, the equipment package has access to fake fangs, so you could put life bond on them.
Oh,
Put
That's
deadly
gonna-
on it. Put deadly on it.
Or put deadly on it because something?
for 3 mana?
Nightshade, yeah.
I mean, I guess. But you basically win when you get it down anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We will see. I hope that doesn't.
We'll see.
Okay. So this is
Pegasus.
the Radiant Pegasus. It's a beautiful looking card from Franktastico. Fresh off his victory, by the way, congrats on Sky Totem got in last week, right? Yes, congrats on that, and we're doing some more flying support. Radiant Pegasus is a 3-drop mine, 2/3 Pegasus from nowhere in particular, with flying and gains untargetable permanently if you control another flying unit. That is worded a little bit weird, but we will see. What is it doing? I'm actually curious about that. It's doing well. It's beautiful. So flying an Untar. Ouch. But it's only a 2/2. This is relatively harmless in its current state. What am I going to do to break this? Let's start with you, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a support card for like blue flying archetype. It's pretty neat. Flying and untargetable means that your opponent likely can't block it, and they also can't remove it with direct removal. So that could be annoying. But also, like, you can still just like, it's a passive, if I read this correctly. So you can just kill the other flying units, and then you can kill that one again, or just cast Lightning Surge or something. So yeah. Nice card to support blue flying, and yeah.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to the two sides of untargetable. Like, you can't buff it.
Yeah.
And so that kind of acts as a balancing factor on a unit this small. Frozen, what's your thoughts?
I mean, like, speaking about what you said about it not being a buff, I was like thinking if you put into a strength that you could probably herald it or use Flight Trainer to get buffs on it instead. But it's 4 mana, so might
A
not
lot of
get
people a lot of people have been talking, I know, about a blue-red flying Penumbra package.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might work.
And for that, this could probably work really well. Do a bunch of Herald Flyers actually sounds pretty scary. Grief, you have any closing remarks?
Basically just another tool for the aforementioned deck, Penumbra flying, especially flying currents, which this could actually just slot into.
Yeah. Beautiful art. And actually another thing that was designed for that very same archetype, this is the start of your picks, right, Tom?
Yes, indeed.
Murder, okay. Okie dokie then. The Murder. Murder is a 3-drop neutral action with choose to flock or feast if you have enough available mana. Flock lets you create a crow, then create another one for each unit you control with flying. What's a crow, you ask? It is a 1/1 flyer. Or you can feast, where if you control a unit with flying, choose a unit to destroy. So this is a really, really cool card. It's got a conditional destruction on it. Akin to, like, I think it would be akin to Sally. It requires about as much setup as the Sally, so I think 3 is fair. But of course, one way or the other, you're going to be running soft affinity, so one mode's going to be more for you depending on which route you're going with this. Why did you pick this, Tom?
I picked this because I think it's pretty interesting design. It fits both into both flying archetypes in red and blue. Also, I just like the flavor of it because a group of crows is called a murder of crows, so that's something. And yeah, also I'd like to mention that if you are able to get your 2 XP on turn 2 as Seldom, then this can be a guaranteed 3 mana destroy unit if you get your Cassiel out. So that could be something.
Yeah,
I mean,
just that bit of removal for Helding is pretty neat. Grief, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it's quite a cute card. You could actually try to slot it into Eagle's deck, maybe, because it's a neutral card.
And neutral flyers, yeah. Well,
Maybe
you have to pay extra for it, but
maybe can play around with it in Orb due to the token creation. But the thing is, you don't really have a lot of flying tokens anyway, so I don't know how many you're getting out of it. You're probably getting just on its own 2 tokens, 1 crow created and 1 extra because you're controlling a flyer.
yeah, because you're not going to get because the only other token producers I know that are flying are the Firefly is a flyer that makes a non-flying token, and Soul Shredder.
Yeah.
And both of those are creatures, so you're probably not going to want to run them in Orma or whatever, or whatever. So a lot of that stuff kind of not going to work so hot. Frozen, what do you think?
Yeah. I guess not really other than to say what you guys said earlier. I think, I don't know. I think the flock might be a little weak, but maybe we just need more flying type synergy cards.
Yeah, I think flying's really underdone in this game, and we need more flyers. And the new Sky Totem will help, hopefully, push things in that direction.
Yeah.
So it's a really good strategic resub on Asdrez's part, waiting until, or after we see Sky Totem, seeing if we can get this in.
Yep.
And it's doing pretty neat, and I just upvoted it. Okay.
Ooh.
Coming toward the end here, we got the Veria Oddhunter. Okay, by the way, I do want to say first, I love this art. This has gone through like 3 or 4 iterations, and each time I like the effect a little bit less. But we'll talk about that. Veria Oddhunter is an 8-drop mine 7/7 Thrym from Tholma, the realm which has the Thryms. It is unblockable with Summon. Choose a card in either your opponent's deck or in your deck. Replace your deck with 10 copies of the chosen card. Why? Grief, why? Why would I want to do this? What do I get out of this? I'm confused.
I think you're asking the wrong person because even I don't know what I would try to build with this, and I don't know what my targets would be, especially as an 8-cost 7/7. Sure, it has unblockable, but my singular card that now is my 10 card size deck has to be extremely useful.
Amnesia Mage?
I mean, if you have actions in your graveyard, then maybe, but
Yeah. If I mill myself and then have Amnesia Mage? Frozen, what card am I trying to target with this?
I don't know. Grab Harvest Sphere or something.
Harvest Sphere, maybe?
I don't know. Burn people. I just like that it's like you can choose from either deck comparison to like older versions, so you can be really flexible with it.
Wait, Grief, did you figure it out?
And you could basically meme around and make a 10-card consigned deck and try to mill your opponent.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Consign! That is the answer! I want
Oh my god.
some consign.
Basically.
Worth noting, if you could somehow get a copy of this in your hand, if you want to run this off Affinity and green and get Underlap, I don't know. You can get a second copy of this and just keep recycling the summon effect somehow. And then get multiple 10 copies of Consign. Tom,
Great.
you have a better idea.
Outstanding move.
Yeah, so the main thing that I saw with this is like you're probably going to do this on your build around card. Of course, our favorite card here is Aragos because you know, he can deal a lot of damage to your opponent's face and everything, or just any other form of face damage. For example, the plasma swoosh that we'll get in next month.
True.
Yeah. Also, this is just kind of an iconic card because like it has been the fictional writer of the Discord news articles in the past. So yeah, it would be nice to have this card in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know what card I pick.
Eh.
So that's the best answer we found, I think, was consigned. If you have a better answer, post it in the comments.
We'll find out.
I just want to know. What do I?
Army of turtles.
Army of Turtles.
Oh yes.
Here.
Sporhulk.
Okay. FrozenEarth's picks. He picked us a simple comment so we can finish this episode out. Sporhulk is a 4-drop spirit 6/1 plant from Enterra with simply rebound and agile.
I mean, guys, I totally didn't pick this because it's on Terra, but still. I mean, I just wanted to use it to talk about the random comment generator design line that I noticed.
Oh yeah.
So like, there are other cards in the subreddit that like use this, and I'm like, that's pretty interesting, because I think Zinker is running it.
Zinker designed it, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I saw another one that was like a unblockable agile. That's pretty cool. I just hope we get more simple commons in the game so we can really get past these rarity restrictions.
I think this is interesting in particular because it's a plant that wants to hit face.
Yep.
Like, what? And it can do this. This gets 2 shots off. And those shots are 6 power shots. I almost think it's a little overcosted for what it does, but that's debatable.
Yeah, it could definitely be buffed.
Maybe. It's hard to say. It's an interesting combination, though. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Grief, what are your thoughts on this?
I like this a lot compared to what we got last week with the Lozabo that couldn't block, but was a 3/4.
Yeah.
Rebound. This is basically the better version of how you are actually designing a really simple, straight up aggressive unit that just has one target, and that's the opponent's face. That's still semi-survivable. This has also a pretty decent type line with a plant where you can get buffs off of Torn Regent. Could be copied with how's it called? The Regretful Chopper. So you get multiple of them on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Pretty versatile, definitely, I think.
Yeah, like Spirit's got a bunch of can't block giving cards too that you might want to use with it too.
Tom, you have any closing notes on this one?
Yeah, no, it's a simple common. I mean, 1 HP in the current metagame is kind of because you know, there's a certain cat going around and everything, but aside of that, cool common. And also, I do kind of like the idea of random commons.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah, just get them in.
One spot, now I know I made it as a one-off joke in Sweetest Scent. One spot where double rebound is almost legit would be on this design.
Oh no.
Maybe. I'm saying maybe. I wouldn't say definitely. I don't know.
This one of the massive many men targets.
Oh. This is a decent, this is a decent weaponized target.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
High attack, agile.
I mean, it's not great, but it's decent. It gives rebound, which is good.
Pull off something.
Actually, I don't. Yeah, we'll see how that. I don't know. Okay.
I mean, because Massive Men was nerfed to not ready, so having agile could really help too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
False Prophet. By the way, Jtad, before we start, you knocked it out of the park with the art. Great job.
I saw him post it. I changed my submission right away.
Yeah. False Prophet is a 5-drop strength 1/8 demon from Tulera With active, destroy all units with less attack than this, lose this active. The reason it has lose this active here, as I understand it, was because without that, which it did originally not have that in earlier submissions, is repeatable board wipes and strength. No.
Can't have that, can we?
Well, repeatable board wipes are just an issue. I don't care. Nobody has, well, not a lot of infinities get repeatable board wipes.
Mine has many.
Yeah, mine could afford to have a lot.
And green has stuff like that. Why can't red have them?
I mean, mine already has the Amnesia Wilting Memories combo anyways.
Mine also has a legacy Magi or wizard that.
Oh yeah, Electric Magi.
The only reason why I'm actually now, sorry if I'm talking over you guys, why I'm confused to see this, because this was actually before that a rage unit. With rage, deal damage equal to destroy units equal to its attack.
Oh yeah, it's not a rage effect anymore.
So rage was actually more interesting. Sure, you could have basically lowered its HP a little bit to 6, but still, that's still a rage effect that you have to enable for a 5-mana unit with with 1 attack. So that would have been actually an interesting design. Now the active is a little bit more contentious.
Yeah, this would have been pretty cool as a range effect.
Yeah, I don't know what to lose this active now that you guys are talking about it. It is hard to work with. You still have to run a decent package to get it going.
I mean, just Twin Pike it.
Just what?
Twin Pike?
Yeah, great target for Twin Pike. It comes back down to how do we really want to explore the role of this kind of effect, and should strength have access to it? If so, how? And that's always just going to be a mess, and I don't even know if I want to get too involved in that.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's in a weird spot.
Yeah, but
oh, Tom, did you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, I think I could see this being played in robots, because then you can, like, with all the herald, you can get this to high attack and everything. So that could be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's also it's very likely to survive until the next turn, so you can play the active because it has 8 HP. So yeah, this is kind of an interesting card, and yeah, hard removal in robots maybe.
I want to massive many this with Gamburu.
Oh god.
Gamburu with 8 more points of HP. I don't know.
At least it doesn't ready anymore.
What?
At least it doesn't ready anymore.
At least it doesn't ready anymore. I think that was sad. It was already, well, I don't know. It was actually seen play on the leaderboards. So I understand why it got updated. It's just sad because, you know, I'm just single player drink. So yeah, I think we came to the end of our list. That was cool. I'm gonna stop the share. Thank you very much to our guests. Thank you, as always, to Grief for joining me. And thank you to TomSoniQ and FrozenEarth for being our guests today, and for filling in for Empty Folder, who will be joining us regularly starting next week. Let me jump back to our announcements real quick. The survey, please take the survey. If you have any questions for Nick, now is your chance. We get uninterrupted time with Nick for a Q&A. Yeah.
A miracle.
Congrats again to Sidewalk, and congrats again to Jtad for winning the art contest. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe so I keep doing this. So keep playing and supporting the game and doing the democratic process. Vote for cards. Bye, everybody.
Somehow.
What?
Somehow.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.